Morning. Hey guys. Jen Wilson here with my morning coffee edition of 100 videos in 100 days. This is day 13 and it may or may not actually be morning, and I may or may not have left my makeup on from last night, and I may or may not be wearing a bra right now. So, yes, we've got Lincoln on my lap. He's still kind of glommy. We're working on getting him a new friend, but we're just not real sure, who we're going to get for him. So he's just going to sit here and stick his little head up. So, but I had to make this post because I had the weirdest dream this morning. Yes, I did. It was weird. Okay, here's the deal. Hang on. Need coffee. Okay, and yes, I'm pretty sure this does relate to what I had to eat last night. There you go, good boy. Because came home and Chris had dinner ready, but he had, what am I saying? Cheesy stuff, noodles, mac and cheese. And I'm not supposed to eat mac and cheese because of the gluten, but it looked so good that I had a little bit of it. And then, of course, by the time it came time to go to bed, I had horrible heartburn. So I got a little bit of water, put some baking soda, and usually just a little bit of baking soda does the trick. Gets rid of the heartburn. Well, I kind of put too much in there, and it tasted awful, but I went ahead and drank it. I was like, well, if a little bit does, maybe a lot does more. Well, no, that doesn't work, because I woke up like 6-something with a horrible stomach ache, and just kind of bloated, gassy, excuse me, speaking of, so I kind of got up and walked around, and it felt better eventually, kind of eased up, so I went back to sleep, and then it began. It was so weird. Like, it started off kind of like just a regular old dream. Most of this happened, like the interior of the house was sort of the house I grew up in, but the garage was a lot bigger, and then I think out front was kind of more like out front of this house here. Ish, but I started off in the basement, or in the garage. Carrie Underwood had pulled her limo in because she had apparently there was like bad weather, so they had to want to pull the limo in to keep it safe. But apparently there had been a tornado earlier in the day, and she had released a statement stating that Brad Paisley had given her incorrect instructions on where to go to get away from the tornado, and she felt like it put her life in danger. And she was kind of afraid that people were going to be mad at her because they were all fans of Brad Paisley, so she wouldn't get out of the limo. And I kind of agreed, because I was like, I like Brad Paisley. I don't think he would do anything like that, deliberately. So I'm sure he meant well, whatever. So, but I remember her driver getting out and kind of, standing around talking with him. And against one wall, there was like just a little workbench area, but a girl I used to work with was making margaritas. Apparently, there was now a second story on the house, and it was like a area where people could just go lounge, hang out. And a girlfriend of mine was there with her boyfriend, and they had gotten margaritas, and they sent them back saying they tasted terrible. So I'm like, well, it's Ashley. She's not experienced at making margaritas, so we'll just try it, and I tried to make it. I tried to reshake it, and the ice was never, I was trying to shake it so it'd get colder. So now that I think about it, I think I was shaking it like a martini. So none of it really makes sense. But anyways, but it just didn't seem to be, going right. I'd spill some, and the shakers weren't right, and it just was weird. And I remember I tasted it, and it was awful. And right as we figured out, we were like, oh, it's the tequila. The tequila's just like this cheap, nasty tequila. So it sucks. It's not going to be good. We got to get you something else to drink. So I remember walking up the steps into the house, and our living room was here to the left, and then if you went up and went down the hall, my sister Holly's room, which had been my sister Chrissy's, whatever. Anyways, middle bedroom right here. And I looked outside, and there was a guy in this crappy sort of land yacht car, kind of pulled up, missed like he stopped, backed up, like he had missed where to park and had to come back. Parked, got out, and I could see him walking up to the house, and I kind of walked away, and I saw there was a big baton just sitting there inside the family room. And I looked out again, and he was starting to climb into my sister's bedroom window, and I was yelling. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? There's people here. You can't break in here. And he just looked at me, he's like, and he kept on going. And so I went and I grabbed the bat. By the time I got the bat, he was in the house, and he was this tall, sort of lanky, skinny, kind of dirty blonde hair, a little sort of shaggy, wearing a blue t-shirt and jeans. And I kind of backed up, and I had the bat, and every time I was trying to swing at him, like, it would get to like right about here on him, and it would stop. I couldn't follow through with the swing. It wasn't working, and I was frustrated. And he pushed me down, and there was like a little couch thing there, and oh, there's the bug again. But he pushed me down on the couch, and he's just sort of holding me down. And I was trying to fight him, and I knew that he was doing something, and I can't remember at this point what it was that he was doing, but I knew when he was done with it, I was gonna die. And I remember asking him, I was like, are you death? Are you death? And he wouldn't answer me, but he was kind of smiling, but it wasn't like manic, like crazy person smile, just somebody just like, whatever. And I grabbed the bat, and I stuck it in his mouth, and I'm trying to push him away from me using the bat, but the bat went through, and it didn't come out, but like the back of his head expanded way out like rubber. And so the bat just kept going, and that's when I was like, oh my God, you are death, aren't you? And he just was kind of, and I forget, he was saying something like, why don't fight this? As soon as I'm done, I'm just doing my job. And he brought out these cards, and I don't know if he was going to do sort of like a layout or if he was going to make a house, but he was going to do something with these cards. And as soon as that was done, I would die. So I kept grabbing the cards and throwing them, and then I grabbed a card, and I remember I ripped it in half, and I ate one of the, I'm chewing one of the other halves, and he's like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? I'm just like, I'm fighting for my life here. And all of a sudden, and this was sort of this was on the edge of my living room, and all of a sudden, gotta turn this way because the dog. Okay, all of a sudden, across the room, a guy showed up. He just sort of appeared sitting in a chair wearing a doctor's jacket, a white jacket, white coat, whatever. And my mom all of a sudden appeared too. And she was like maybe 3 feet away from me. And he said, do you know the eye of the needle? And I was like, huh? And he asked my mom. I realized he was talking to her. Said, do you understand the eye of the needle? And he asked her something else. Do you know what something is? And I can't remember what it was. And she said yes. And then he said, do you know what the eye of the needle is? And she picked up a box, and it looked like a computer software box. And it had a picture of something, looked like a pixelated red ball or something. And she held up what looked like a bag or something and held it in front of it. And she said, it's this. And he said, yes, that is correct. And he turned to me and he said, do you know what the eye of the needle is? And I was like, it's that? And he said, well, she just did that. Do you know what the eye of the needle is? And Mom jumped in and said, she's my daughter. Yes, she knows what it is. Of course I would have shown her. Why would I not? And he took her word for it. He said, okay, all right then. And he looked, all of a sudden, Death, tall, blonde, t-shirt wearing Death, let me go. And stood up. And just walked out the front door. And he turned around, and inside the front door had like this little window in it. And he's looking at it, and he's like, no, you don't like, and he was like reaching his hand in. And I think he was saying, don't reach through the window. Like, to me, he was saying, don't try to meet danger before it gets inside. And I was like, what, fine, okay. And he was like, fine, and walked off. And my mom turned around, and she looked like she did like maybe when I was in my teens. And she grabbed me, and she was crying, and she was like, I'm so sorry. My friends that knew the occult, they told me about this. They warned me, but they said not to try to look up or find out about the eye of the needle. But I didn't listen to them because I needed to know. I wanted to know, and I'm so sorry. And I was like, that's okay. We're good. We're alive. We're good. And I could feel myself pulling out of the dream. And as I'm pulling out of the dream, I'm thinking, I gotta call Mom. I gotta find out what's gone. I gotta go. And then I woke up and realized, well, Mom's been dead since 2002. And I was like, fuck, what? So, like, right as I woke up, I heard Chris come home from work. And he's like, what are you doing? Because I was recording the dream with a little voice recorder. And I just had to lay there and hold on to his hand for a minute. Oh, like, I just need to lay here for a second. It was a freaky, weird dream. I mean, I don't know. Like, I was legitimately scared in this dream, and it was just, I was fighting, and I don't know. It was weird. I would like somebody to interpret that, figure out what the hell that meant. So I know a lot of it probably has to do with my not sleeping well because of the stomach ache and all that other stuff, but yeah, I have weird dreams, and that was some extra weird shit. So, any ideas? I don't know. So, I'm going to take this puppy off my lap. This puppy. Mwah. And we're going to go for a run. So, hope you're having a good... Ooh, it's Friday. No, it's not. What the hell day is it? It's Thursday! Now it's really Thursday. Last night I wished everybody happy Thursday, but it was only Wednesday. Oh my God. Anyways, happy Thursday, and I'll see you later.